What's up, traders? Welcome to the Day Trading Show. Today, we've got a couple important things. First, a solo episode. It's just me, no Tom, no James. I'm sitting down with Malik. Malik is from Florida. He's an ASFX member. He has a couple years of trading experience. He speaks a lot about the Black Shirt Club. So I want to let you guys know our mentorship group, the Black Shirt Club, is open for enrollment. We have spots available going into Q2 and Q3. So if you're interested in working with me, Tom, and James, funded full-time traders, if you really want to scale up and see the most out of your trading, go to asfx.biz/BSC and book a free call with me. Let's hop on, see if it's a good fit. It is work intensive. There is a workload here, but you're going to hear from Malik. He's going to tell you how great the club is. He's seen a great benefit from it so far, and we're seeing an 89% month-over-month success rate with members of the mentorship group. So if you're a serious trader and you want to work with us, go to the link in the description, asfx.biz/BSC, book a call, and hopefully we'll have some space for you at that time. So thank you for listening to my little PSA here to start the episode. Now enjoy the conversation with Malik. All right, traders, we're back with another very important, very interesting conversation today. So we have a guest. It's just me and Malik today. You don't have any James. We don't have any Tom. It's just me and Malik running it back for a really ASFX-focused conversation. We're going to talk to Malik today about his experience in trading, what he's really learned a lot, or maybe what he wants to work more on with ASFX. We're going to talk about seminars because Malik has been to a seminar in the last year. We'll talk a little bit about the Black Shirt Club, I'm sure, bro. So we're going to talk about all things ASFX, but all hopefully good things. But maybe I think what'll be good here, because I don't want people to think I'm just bringing you on as like a sales pitch for ASFX. I'd like you to give, both sides of the coin when we go through some of these questions. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to think that we're just painting ASFX because like we know, bro, I mean, look at today with our conversation. Trading is not a straight uphill, easy road. You know what I'm saying? Look at even my trading today, left some money out there on the table. So yeah, bro, I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, man. I'm glad to be here.
No, bro, I appreciate you. Like I said, so let's jump in really quick. Give everybody like a 5-second, not really, but a 5-second overview of who you are. We know you're Malik from Jacksonville, but how did you get into trading? Why trading? And how long have you been trading? Real quick.
So I was in the military at the time. I was stationed in Maryland. One of my friends, he actually, kind of introduced me to forex, and literally within the same week, I found out how real the potential to make money off of it was. Of course, I had no strategy whatsoever. I literally was just one of those dudes in the beginning, just like everyone else. I just put money in and I was able to take money out. But since that first interaction with that, I actually knew I had to sit down and take this seriously if I wanted to, be like, the well-rounded traders, the profitable traders, the hedge fund traders. I wanted to be on that level. But of course, I had to start from the ground up. And then pretty much after that, 3 years later, I literally just got out of the Navy. I want to say in June. Pretty much since June, I've been trading full time, or I would like to say I've been trading full time. In the Discord, in the chat, chatting it up with everybody. Yeah, man.
Funded with MyForexFunds accelerated account right now, right?
Yep.
And then going with another firm, you said to me today, I think Surge Trader is the next step. So you're diversifying the funding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when you were in the military, did you think you would become a trader? Like, were you thinking about trading while you were in the service or no?
Honestly,
because you said you were Navy, not military,
I was still,
right?
no, I was still in the,
Is the military and the Navy the same thing?
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking the Army.
It's just a branch.
The Army is different than the
It's
Navy.
just a branch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, this is back in 2019, man. Like, I was only in my second year in the Navy at that point. So,
Okay.
I was still relatively new to that world. So
Yep.
I didn't, of course, foresee the person that I am now, and and all the experiences that came in between that.
Right.
I wouldn't say I didn't see this, but I knew that I was good with, putting myself into a process and allowing myself to be humble enough to learn and to be open, to new ideas and new strategies and new ways of thinking and stuff like that.
Was there anybody when you were in the service that was trading? Like, did you see anybody making money and they inspired you?
Um, I heard, through the grapevine that, this is around the time when Bitcoin was, I think, around like 100 or so dollars or something.
Oh my
And,
God.
everybody's just like, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin.
Crazy.
And, I'm one of the type of dudes where, I'm not a speculative dude. Like I have to, do my due diligence and, you know, then I'll invest into it. But
You're
of
not a
course,
gambler.
people were just no, I'm definitely not. I'm
No.
definitely not.
Do you think that now fast forward, knowing you're not a gambler and knowing that like you're not a speculative dude, do you think that makes you a better trader now? Now that you're funded, now that you're trying to stack more capital, do you think it makes you better that you're not a gambler?
I definitely think it's like a prerequisite as a personality trait to just, not to hear something and then immediately just jump into it. Just like,
Right.
yeah, let me just hop into this with no knowledge or no
Right.
forethought.
Right.
Um, I definitely think if you can look at something objectively and then, make your own decisions from your own due diligence first, I feel like that would be a really good trait as a trader.
I would agree.
Definitely.
When you came into the Black Shirt Club a couple of weeks ago, you took a personality
Mm.
test, and I'm sure you and Tom in your coaching calls have already discussed that. Do you think
Mm.
that personality test was accurate? Like when you took it, did you have any like, oh my God, I can't believe that's so true about me?
Man, I was looking at the screen as if as if my entire life or my entire
Was just
personality
right
was
there on the
just like
PDF.
in well structured sentences, man. It was like this little matrix
Like
thing
the
behind me. I
Matrix
was
had
just sitting
built
there
you,
like,
bro. Like the Matrix made you with some computer code, and this personality test tells. So
I,
it's crazy how accurate it is, right? And now you can
yeah,
see, like, I'm sure, I'm going to guess, I have not looked at your personality test, but you do not come off like somebody who would score high in neuroticism. I'm going to guess that. Do you remember? Did you score high in that? No. So,
nope.
in my experience with the Black Shirt Club and coaching traders really intensely for the last couple of years, like that baseline personality test gives me as a coach so much information to know how to talk to you, how to motivate you. And for example, like you said, if someone has some of those baseline characteristics that don't favor trading, we can spot it and we can really hone in on it. And look at Colin. I always give Colin credit. He had a really tough personality test when he first came into the Black Shirt Club. And this was like, I would say 6 or 7 months ago. He's been here he's in the elite membership now. So he's been enrolled for a while. I bet you if he took that personality test today, he's a totally different person. He's transformed completely. So I think it's awareness of our own personality characteristics that sometimes
Yeah,
helps us not make some trading mistakes. Like I was talking to a guy yesterday, he scored really high in openness and really high in agreeableness. And I told him that openness and agreeableness is the same high scores that I got. And that means that, yeah, we're going to be open-minded to making money trading and trying new strategies for better and for worse. That also means we're going to be open-minded to maybe fudge the rules sometimes. That's not that good.
hmm
So you can see how these different personality traits tie into good or
yeah,
bad trading. So, and that's part of like,
yeah,
you could speak on this a little bit, like in the Black Shirt Club, it's not just technical analysis that we work with you guys on, right? It's a lot more than that.
yeah, yeah. I feel like it's definitely a mixture of course, understanding your psychology,
Yeah.
right? I feel like from the personality test, your coach, just like you said, they can kind of like peer into your life in a sense without, getting way too personal, with certain subjects. But, at the same time too, we're basically defending our ideas. So it's not just, I want to trade this setup just because I see it as a setup. It's like, why did you take this setup? Can you explain to me in a couple of brief sentences of, why are you taking this? Why are you trading this strategy in this sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's very well said. So going back to your thoughts about like first getting into trading, knowing you're not a speculative guy, you knew about Bitcoin when it was $100, bro. What sucked you in to say this trading is not gambling? This is something I can systematize. How did you discern that? Because like from your personality already, it seems like you would be skeptical of trading. Am I wrong?
no, you're right.
So how did you work through that?
So
Or what can not work through, but what convinced you to get into trading? Because it sounds like you wouldn't even want it. That's what I'm saying.
so um I in the beginning I did want to get into something that I knew could give me freedom of time,
Okay.
because, of course, being in the military, that pretty much takes all of your time. So
Yes.
I knew in my head when I wanted to get out the military, I wanted my freedom of time back so then, I could spend more time with my family, make more business decisions, whatever those business decisions are in whatever areas I was interested in. I wanted my freedom of time back. Um, I remember the first night after my friend, he sent me, it was one of those typical, lifestyle forex videos where it's just like, the dude's waking up in the morning, drinking his little coffee, and then like he shows his little desk and then shows his phone, and he's just casually and whatever $1,000 of profit, and then he goes out to his little car or whatever. But it was, I would definitely say, it was the flashiness that got me. But once I actually did some research on my own and I was looking at all of these traders, I knew that it was possible. I knew that if they could figure it out, that they can come up with a strategy to where they're risking whatever amount of their accounts, they're able to live the life that I aspire to have, if that makes sense.
100%.
And from then, from then, really, man, like no lie on this, man. Like literally every night, Monday through Friday, I get off of work. My day, military days is kind of like a 9 to 5. I get off work, I'd get dinner, go to the gym, and I'd come back. And for the rest of the night to like maybe 10 p.m., 12 a.m., I'm literally looking at forex videos. And this is when I found you. This is exactly when I found you back in 2019. And I was just like, wow, like he's not like all of these other, you know, gurus, trying to buy the signals. He's like giving me a detailed, thought out process. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I kind of like that. So since then, I basically just was going through pretty much all of your YouTube videos, just, absorbing the knowledge because I knew my situation, being in the military, having a full-time job, I couldn't trade the way that I am now. Of course, getting up at 4 a.m. trading some of the London session to London close a little bit.
Yep.
Um, but it was the preparation, if that's the word that I want to go with. It was just 3 years of nothing but just preparation, trial and error, preparation, trial and error. So now when I need to perform, it took me, I want to say like a good month after I officially bought the course and I had time to actually absorb all of the information and apply it on the accelerated account that I told you that I bought. I was able to basically just walk into it like just putting on a pair of pants that I've been wearing for like the last for the last like couple of years. So like, by the time that I actually was at the desk and I was on the in the Discord talking to people, it didn't feel new to me. It felt
Right.
like I had been doing this for the last 3 years, even though I wasn't trading full time.
Right.
If that,
No, that makes
so
a lot of sense.
that's pretty much.
And then you've transitioned now without having the job into more of the active full-time trading. And with the funding through the instant funding that they can give you with MyForexFunds or any of the companies, Surge Trader, and any of these companies, I feel like it opens up the door even more now to you where, like I asked you at the beginning, 5 years ago, you probably never even thought you'd be a trader. And now with all of this opportunity, you could say 5 years from now, I want $5 million to trade with. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we probably do too often is we underestimate what we can do in a year or 6 months, and we overestimate what we can do in a bigger period of time. So what you do really well on a day-to-day basis, you've made yourself known in our community. You've made yourself known in the Black Shirt Club. You grind, bro. So that grind of those 3 years, it transformed or transferred into the grind now. But I think the grind now, because of the experience that you've had and the knowledge you've taken in over the last 3 years or those first 3 years, the grind now is a little bit different. So tell everybody what it's like for you on a day-to-day basis in the Black Shirt Club and with your daily trading routine. I'm curious if you could paint that whole picture because I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Okay.
People love that,
So
bro. They love the
I
day in the life shit. You know that. They love it's like, why do you want it? Why do you care what I'm doing all day? I don't know. Like, but people care.
I mean, sometimes people, if they see successful people, they want to know what successful
Right.
traits they can
Right.
emulate in
For
their
sure.
own, and in their own lives.
Yeah.
I humbly say that,
I
as
would say that that's how
just
I
as a first.
Right. You look at success and you want to model it. But I think like people think, oh, like you have guys like you and me who are full-time traders. They're like, oh, they must be trading all day, every day, looking at charts all the time, in trades all the time. That's what they think. They want to see, like when they watch the day in the life stuff, they want to see that crazy action of like, I'm sweating, I'm ready to break the keyboard, then I'm happy, then I'm sad. They want, it's like reality TV. But then in
Yeah, man.
reality, your routine, I think,
Hmm.
probably looks a lot different. And like your
Is
emotional roller coaster looks a lot different than what those people think it is, right?
exactly, man. Exactly. Um. Well, okay. I mean, I guess I'll start it, man.
Yeah, from sun up to sundown, run it for us. Include the Call of Duty, bro. Don't skip the Call of Duty.
So I typically wake up around 4:30 in the morning. Of course, I don't immediately get on the charts. I don't even immediately turn on the lights. I go straight into the kitchen, make a cup of coffee, sit there. I'm on my phone, checking Twitter, checking Robert Kiyosaki. I hope I'm saying his last name right.
Yeah, yeah,
And a couple of other well-known traders that
yeah.
kind of you, James, and Tom follow that I follow through you guys. I just go through, previous tweets and stuff like that, checking CNBC. I'm hoping I'm saying that one right.
No, yeah, you got
And
it.
Bloomberg.
Yep.
I just kind of I'm wiring my brain to start, thinking in that reality of
Which makes sense.
finances and
Right.
in that realm. Then of course, I hop right into it. I do my little morning hygiene, brush the good old teeth, and then I come in here, I got my bottle of water, got my cup of Joe, and I get right to the desk. That right behind me. From that point forward, man, I would say I'm at the desk at 4:45, 5 a.m. at that point. And immediately I don't, and even at that point, I still don't even open up the charts. I go straight to the Discord just to see what everybody's talking about, just to see what people are looking
Specifically,
into.
the Black
What
Shirt Club Discord
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
main Discord?
The Black Shirt Club Discord, and then I go to the other Discord. Where
Where
pretty much
everybody
where I
is.
was at,
Yeah.
and see what everyone and see what they're talking about. Um, and then from that point, I switched over to the charts, man. I don't trade a lot of pairs, man. I think, well, I guess I guess 20. My general watch list is around 20 pairs. But what I've done after watching the uh the A2 course, and you show the statistics, I actually made my own watch list from those statistics to where that I have a higher probability watch list that I look at first, to see if I see any setups on those, so that I'm not wasting my time trying to look at my general watch list. If I don't see anything on that one, then I go to my general watch list like today. GPP CAD wasn't, on that top tier list that I made from the statistics. Um, just like today, like I said, went over to GPP CAD, looked at it. It was setting up for a nice play. I set my levels, my higher days, my lower days, high of week, low of week, and then I pretty much just wait, man. It's the preparation into what I want price action to happen. So yeah, man, it's pretty much. I mean, pretty much is after that, it's just like a wait game until I'm in the trade, and just like everybody in the chat sees, like I'm posting, in this trade, I'm in this trade, and I'm showing my markups. But in between that as well, I'm trying to make it a habit, excuse me, to journal in my DRC so that I'm not having to do that off the desk,
I was waiting for
so
you to
that
mention the
everything.
DRC, bro. The
Yeah,
daily
man.
report card. How could you
I
say I
love
did
that thing,
my
man.
I had my day without my daily report card? I was like, when's the daily report card coming in? Because I know
No,
you do them.
I was leading up to it, man. I was
The
leading up
build
to
up.
it.
I love
I
it.
had to, I had to string you in a little
Yep,
bit.
yep, yep. Okay, so you're filling out the DRC. You're looking for a
Yeah,
trade. What is your rule for first, I guess, when do you stop trading? What is the time you're just off the desk and I go to, gym or whatever else? And then like, let's say for me, my stop time is 11. If I see a trade at
mhm.
like 10:30, 10:45, I hesitate sometimes to take them because I'm close to my stop time. What's your stop time and what's your like period before that?
I would say 10:30.
Okay.
Really, really like dead stop on all trades, 10 o'clock. I'm very strict on myself. I feel like I'm one of those people. If I set a rule for myself, and it makes sense, Like, why would I, if I'm saying I want to stop after 10 a.m. and I get into a trade at 12 p.m., I already messed up. I already went off my my rules. So if I lose the trade, there's no excuse as to why I lost the trade. You already messed up when you were already looking at the charts when you told yourself you weren't going to be at the desk at that point. So I'm pretty strict on myself when I'm, you know, if I don't typically hold trades after 12 p.m. Um, I'm typically in and out. Uh, so by the time it hits like 10:30, I'm either taking some off or I'm deading everything across the board. So I can go to the gym with a clear mind, do my workout, come back, and I have a second business now that I run with some of my other military friends, and so I can have time to do that in the afternoon.
Nice.
So I'm not hopping back from trading in the mornings and then going to the gym, coming back, and then hopping right back on the charts. That's a big no-no for me. Everything in my day is structured, and I depend on that structure. Which a lot of people will say, the whole military thing, structure, that whole bit, which it does play a bit into. But, since that was basically my lifestyle for like the last 6 years.
Right.
So I'm used to that structuring within
And
my
routine
schedule. So
and discipline.
and
Yeah.
exactly. So like for me, like I said, I'm up at 4:30. I'm trading from that time till around 10 o'clock, and then I'm done. I'm at the gym. I'm doing my thing. I come back around 11, 12, and then boom, I'm talking to my friends. We're having a meeting about whatever needs to get done with the business, and then we're handling that. Then I would say around maybe 5 or 6 p.m., depending on the workload for the day. Um, and also if I need to finish my DRC for the day. Um, I'm done, man. Yeah, I treat it like a 9 to 5 in my head, even though I am getting up pretty early. I'm trying to force myself to at least be in the bed or sleep by around 9:30
I think
because I
that's
know
good.
I am getting up
Getting up
the
as
next
early
day
as you're
pretty
getting
early.
up, you got to get sleep. Yeah, you have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a
Um,
pretty solid routine,
on the
bro. I mean,
day on
start
the
to finish.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What were you going to say? I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, man, like on the days where, we're all human,
Right.
right? We all can't just stick to a perfect schedule all the time. Life happens, you know,
Friends come into
we're
town,
not perfect.
family
We're
gets
not
sick, whatever.
exactly. So like, the next day, if I know that I'm going to be trading the next day, and like you said, family comes into town, I have to entertain people. I still try to stay within that border. But for me, it's a lot easier because I have experiences with, going 24 hours, 36 hours with no sleep just because of the nature of my job. So, even on days where I only get maybe 3, 4 hours of sleep, I knew my psychology then and how easily transferable it was to do this because, I'm not in harsh weather conditions, having to do what my job was in the military. I'm literally sitting in a seat. So it's kind of easier. It's kind of easier, to, kind of still be sleepy, drink like, 2 cups of coffee, do some push-ups and, get that blood circulating. And now I'm at the desk and I'm focused and I'm ready to perform and I'm ready to execute. So that's the mind frame that I switch into when I sit into this seat is like, okay, now you're like just like your examples, like a professional athlete, man. I used to play football, wrestle, all that mess back in high school and everything. So like all skills easily transferable to this. It's just like you make yourself get into the zone, right? And you're like, okay, I'm here to perform and I'm here to execute. It doesn't, I can understand how I feel, even though you're feeling anxious or nervous, or, even if you feel mad after a trade or frustrated, which we're all human. You can't shut off those emotions.
Right.
But I think the best thing is on how you get better with your psychology in those moments when you're trying to perform and execute is to realize that you're having those emotions but then just saying okay and you continue to stay focused on what you're trying to do as you're still feeling those emotions and then you just continue you do what you wrote down on your paper that you said that you were going to do You stick to your rules. And at the end of it, at the end of the day, like for me, at 10 a.m., I ask myself, did I stick to my rules? And did I have a sound psychology? Whether I was nervous during the trade or not, or anxious or mad or sad or, anything in between, it's okay that I had those emotions. I'm human, you know, but did you allow those emotions to affect your trading style and your strategy? Did you allow it to affect your grading? Did you allow it to affect your risk, your risk profile? Did you stay within the frames of your strategy, or did you allow that, your emotions to take effect when you were trying to, make this gains on account for a challenge? So, it all pretty much just comes full circle, man.
You have a lot of self-awareness, bro, and with your background between sports and the military, you have a lot of underlying characteristics. And that's what I told you when you showed interest in the Black Shirt Club and when we met at the seminar. I was like, bro, you are set up for success in this business. I mean that. So now coming into the Black Shirt Club, you've been in for a few weeks. What areas of improvement have you been focused on so far with Tom as your coach? Or maybe what areas have you felt that you are making improvements in the most in just a few weeks? I'm curious because it sounds pretty sound. Like the psychology you're speaking on is pretty advanced, and most people don't have the discipline to stick to their rules. They don't have the self-awareness to ask themselves the recap and the questions that you're asking at the end of the day. So what in the Black Shirt Club has helped you, if in any way, move in that direction? Or what are you focused on improving or enhancing more?
This is something that I literally just talked to Tom today about. And it was a suggestion of James. He was, basically saying, hey man, you have a clear understanding of when you're looking at the charts, how you want price action to kind of play out. Um, you should maybe think about, probably sizing up on those trades. So me here by myself, can I make those decisions by myself? Yes, but with a coach, they're able to see everything from a third person point of view.
Hopefully
So they're
more
able to
unbiased.
see what you're, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I at least feel like it's unbiased and, for my best benefit.
Well, because you would
Um,
be kind of scared to
I,
maybe size up on your own without someone saying, hey, bro, your
of
data
course.
looks good. I think it comes back to
Yeah,
there. We could
yeah,
say the benefit of the
yeah.
Black Shirt Club is not just having a coach that'll put you up and say trade bigger, but he would only say trade bigger if we get that from the
If
data. And
yeah,
you
yeah,
do a good job already with the DRCs. I knew you would. You've come in and you're tracking everything in detail, and already we can start to pick at things. And that's what you've heard me say before. And I told you this when you come
mhm,
in, it's not, especially with guys like you. You've taken the courses, you trade the strategies well. You were trading the D1 and A1 well. Now you do the A2 well. So with you, it's not what do we need to do more of? It's actually what do we need to do less of? And the only way to answer that question is to track everything. So I feel like what I've seen for you is already your eyes and your conversations in your DRCs with Tom and James and the feedback we all give each other. Like you're already starting to turn and say, what do I need to just do less of that's going to make me trade better or make more money? And you
mhm.
might already have a piece of that, which is you're selective, you're picking the right trades. So having someone to then come in and say, hey, bro, you're doing that less thing really well. What's the second part of the saying? Do it better. The last part of the saying, do it bigger. So now, hey, bro, you got the less. Let's get bigger now that you're really focused on this. And like you said, I'm trying to document and journal every day. That's what you said. And you said at the end of the day, you ask yourself, not based on the outcome of the trade, but the process that I followed. That is the doing it better. So you're doing less by really focusing in on the one strategy, the A2 that's working well for you. You're doing it better by documenting and trying to grow every day. Now it's like you need the coach sometimes to say, hey, bro, take the leap, go up in size. The stats say you'll make money if you do this. So I think it's really good to bring that point up. I think that for guys like you, sometimes, listen, bro, we get guys in the coaching program that need a lot of help. They need a lot of help identifying entries, and that's okay. Like we work with those people. They're on a different learning curve. But guys like you, high expectations, like for real, like very high expectations because you come in running. You come into the program running. Now we want to be like hitting full stride, hitting full sprint. And sometimes it's these deep conversations in your private calls and in the Discord, these deep
Mhm.
conversations that pull just one little nugget, one layer away that
That make
sometimes
you that make you think about some things. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah. Because
exactly. Like
I would have never had thought to try and scale up because we become so binary or we become so routine
yes.
with are certain little processes. Is that bad? No, not at all. But it comes to a certain point to where you you don't realize it yourself, but you've accumulated some time in these markets. You have some experience in these markets. You've traded live accounts, in these markets. So you kind of get used to the nuance of certain things. So after a while, you're wondering why your P&L isn't going higher, and it's not because you're not trading more.
Right.
It's just because, just like you said, you're not sizing up on those trades
Exactly.
because those are your bang. Like those are the trades that are bangers. And yes, I take losses, man. Like let's be 100% real with it, man. Like I'm not gonna sit here. And I don't, I appreciate the compliments, from Austin, but I'm not gonna sit here and of course say like I'm the golden child. No, man. Like I take losses too, man. Like, and even right now, in my 50K challenge right now, man. Like, I'm having some issues with that, but that's for my own personal reasons on why I wasn't able to be at the desk. I wasn't able to find certain trades just for personal reasons. But that's life. If that's anything to tell the people that's watching this right now, is just like, you know understand that even though you want to trade full time and you're having all of these, wants and ambitions to, trade and, be in a black shirt club and, kind of do the things that I'm doing, there's levels to getting to this point. I am 100% humble and grateful to be able to do this full time because I realize that a lot of people really can't do this. I'm a single guy, no kids. You know, you can't
Low
get
overhead,
any you
low
can't get any
overhead.
you can't get any simpler than that. So
No,
it's
bro.
just like a guy like me in my position, why are you not in the Black Shirt Club? Why are you not, creating these goals and aspiring to do certain things and doing them, accomplishing them, trying, putting numbers on the board, something. But just to come full circle, man, like I want people to really understand, like, I'm a regular person just like everyone else. Like, I started the program and I was able to use the skills that I accumulated throughout life to, push me in a direction that allowed, my success to basically boost off. Uh, and I realized that not a lot of people can do that sometimes. So to those people, all I would say, man, is just really trust the process. The process will evolve you into the trader that you're trying to be, even though that you can't even see it right now, because of course you might be frustrated, you might be losing trades, you might even be looking at the ASFX, courses and still trying to, realize, what am I doing wrong? It might be the psychology, it might be the strategy, but you have to allow the process to mold you. Diamonds just don't become diamonds. They have to go through immense pressure and struggle and in our case, that's our psychology, and how we translate that into our trading and getting into the flow. For me now, man, it's just like I get to the charts, man. I'm looking at it, I'm charting it, but to everyone that is watching this, you'll get to that point of ease, of that critical thinking, of that problem solving. You'll get to that
You
point,
just got to work.
through time. It's
Yeah,
just you just gotta, ready to work, ready to hustle,
work.
and ready to,
You didn't
basically
get
put
to
your,
the point that you
your best
got
foot
to.
forward.
You would not be at the point that you're at without spending a lot of time looking at charts. I don't care about the coaching. I don't care about anything else. If you did not spend a lot of time on
You
your
have to
own,
sacrifice,
you
man.
got to sacrifice. You got to
You have to
want it.
sacrifice.
Why did you decide to join the Black Shirt Club and come to a seminar? Like basically back to back. You were at the seminar at the end of last year. Now you're in the Black Shirt Club for at least 12 weeks.
So
Everyone's listening like, bro, you say you're a full-time trader. Why are you going to seminars and getting coaching? Yeah, I'm setting you up here kind of on an easy one, but like, you know what I'm saying? Someone's listening. Someone's thinking that.
So to answer that question, I would say this, man. It doesn't matter what point in life you get to, whether you think that you know anything. You always need to humble yourself and allow yourself to be in a situation or a group of people to where you can, sit, listen, and learn. You
Yeah.
know, can you be around other traders and humble yourself to look at it from a different point of view from someone who, been trading for a different period of time and just to get that that back and forth just to see if you can see it from their perspective. You might have missed something or you might have needed that little piece, just that little piece to, add to yourself to make your trading better.
So let's talk about the funding stuff, because we touched on that a little bit earlier. The accelerated account with MyForexFunds. How did you pick that? Why did you pick that? And how have you found that process?
So I actually found, I was looking into FTMO, like years before I had, wanted to go full time. So by the
Yep.
time that it was also time for me to get out of the military and I wanted to trade this full time, I had to really think and sit to myself and say, okay, it will take me X amount of time to actually pass the challenge
Yep.
to get to the point of where I'm making money from this, because this is what people want. This is what people want. That's
Right.
that's the reality of it. Can I
Yep.
make money from this? How do I profit from this if I sacrifice all this time? So I went over to my forex funds and I saw they had the accelerated, and I was just like, what is this accelerated? And then I did some deeper research into it, and I found out, I was like, oh, you get an account just like that. So of course I had to also sit down and rethink and say, okay, man, if you're gonna do this full time, and this is like I said back in June when I actually bought the bought the course, and I wanted all of that information. I wanted to set myself up for as much success
Right.
as I possibly could,
That makes
and I
sense.
wanted to, just streamline. I just wanted to streamline that success.
Faster.
So
Yeah.
to the people, to the people that actually that want to trade full time, and they've actually back tested and forward tested, whatever strategy that they decided to trade. Once you feel comfortable and you feel like you can do that, of course you have a full-time job, and you like to swing trade or day trade, I would definitely, just from my personal opinion, I would say start with an accelerated account, because at that point you're getting weekly cash outs. And at the same time too, the cash outs aren't taken away from your percentage gain on the account. It just basically it brings the balance that back down to 10, for my case, back down to 10,000. But every gain on an account that you make, that's just more percentage on, so that you can get to the next stage.
What's the scaling like? How do you get more than the
So
10K?
so for the 10K, it has around 7 stages. The seventh stage being 500,000
Nice.
K.
Is it just
So
certain
when
months
you
of profitability? Like you have to be profitable 3 months out of the last four, and then they'll bump you up or something like that?
so it's a 10% profit target. I'm currently at 6-7% right now. The only
Okay.
reason why I'm not at 10% is because, like I said, the reality of it, I had just started getting into, trading full time, and it took me a little minute to,
Bro, 6 or
brush
7% is
off
still
some
good.
rust. Hey man, listen.
You got high standards. So,
Hey,
but you're
hey,
saying
yeah, yeah.
with the 10K, if you make the
Mm.
10% on it, then they will, and you have to
Go
do
up to the
that.
next stage.
Did you have to do that 2 out of 4 months, or how many months? Do you know? I'm just curious.
So there's no, so for the accelerated accounts, there isn't like a time limit
Okay.
on when you need to get 10%. Like
Right.
I said, you're paying for an active account, so you're
Right.
trading that account as if you had went through a challenge,
Already
did
passed
phase
it.
one, did
Yeah.
phase two,
Yeah.
passed it, and now you have a full funded account. So now I'm trading it as if this is real money, because it
Right.
is.
Right.
Um, so there's no time limit, and you just need to get to 10%. You just there's no monthly anything. It's just when you can get 10%.
Got it. So every time you hit 10%, they will scale you up.
Hmm.
Is this one of the
So
only
I think
companies? No, go ahead. You go first.
I was just saying, I don't remember the specifics between, stage one and stage seven, but I know at the very end, that was the thing that, got me interested, was the 500K.
Yeah.
I wanted to put myself in a deliberate situation to where I would need to trade my best way, or the best way I know how, so I can go through these different stages. I'm hitting these accomplishments, and now I would just be sitting here, just like
Right.
you're sitting there with 300K funded. I'd be sitting there with 500K
Right.
active account. So,
Right.
at least that's the vision.
Is this the only company that does that? I don't know if any of these other companies
Yeah.
offer that type of instant funding. I mean, so I've heard some companies offer it, but the companies that I've heard about, like, I don't even remember their names. They're kind of sketchy. It's not often that you find this. So like for the guys that are trying to like get into trading, you're saying like full time right now, you think the accelerated, I mean, it makes sense, because otherwise, if you think you're going to go full time and try to pass a challenge, you might be up 6% instead of 8%. You might fail phase 2. Like you're laughing because like it is. I've passed 3 challenges with my Forex funds. It is not, and I failed a few too before I passed the recent ones. So to be like, when you see both sides of it yourself, plus I coach a lot of people that take these challenges all the time, that challenge will make you do crazy things. I've had a lot of guys in the black shirt club sometimes even where they will go off tilt and be up 2%, but because they're getting close to that time frame, they go crazy and go a little big. Now they're actually down 2% after a day of going off tilt a little bit too big, and now they don't get the free retry. Now they got to pay MyForexFunds or whoever again, and now they're like, what the fuck, So I think you kind of avoided that, went around that completely by going this route, which is cool. I think it is a really good option for a lot of people. So what would you say, to circle back a little bit, what would you say makes a winning trader? It's a very vague question, but I'm curious to know, what's your brain go to? Describe.
I would definitely say psychology.
Funded, like what's he look like? Don't just say psychology. Don't just come on.
Nah, man. Like, so like not even on some like fortune cookie bull, man. Like,
oh, here we go.
Like, like man, like not like I picture myself in your seat right now if I was talking to somebody. Okay. It's really, man, psychology, dude. Like no bullshit. Like psychology, because I guarantee you can have a high wins rate. You can have a high win rate strategy, and you go into drawdown, lose your cool. Now you out of the trade and drawdown and lost money. Now you're feeling sad, sorry, angry for yourself, and now you don't want to trade no more. Now you stop trading. So, like no bull, man. Like really, to the people that really want the answer, a sound psychology will take you farther on a 50% win rate strategy than if anybody walked up to you and said, hey, man, here's a 90% win rate strategy. You just have to literally trade it this way. But they don't teach you the aspect of centering yourself in those moments when you're entering a trade and you're nervous as hell. You're anxious out the, anxious, emotions flying everywhere. Is the same person telling you with that 90% strategy how to sit there and stay with a calm mind and to stay in your strategy, just like the trade today on GPP CAD, man. If it was a new trader that would have gotten into that situation, they would have seen price going against them. They would have been like, oh snap, what do I do now? Do I just close the trade now that I'm in drawdown? No, we have a process. We have risk mitigation, and even through the strategy, can I do this with this, even with all these emotions going on? Can I still do that and just work through it? Just keep working through the process and literally sit here and allow price to do whatever it allows to do. You feel what I'm saying?
100%. You have good rules in place.
That's my version.
No, I like that answer. So the winning trader has rules in place that he's focused on following over any outcome. The outcome doesn't matter. It's the process. I love it, bro. That's a really, really, really spot on answer. So listen, I think we wrap up today's episode here. We've got a ton of value that you can bring to the community, bro. You do it already in our Discord. So for the people listening and watching, of course, bro. For the people listening and watching, comment below on YouTube or leave a review on Spotify. Let me know what questions we should ask Malik next time. Next time, I'm going to bring him back. We're going to have Tom and James here, and we'll have a little roundtable discussion, maybe more about getting funded if people want to talk more about that. If you guys want to talk to Malik more about risk, let us know. We can talk to hear more about his perspective on risk management, risk mitigation, like he mentioned. There's a lot we could talk about, bro. So I appreciate you sharing your experience about ASFX with everybody. I appreciate you sharing your trading experience so far. And I really am looking forward to you doing well in the Black Shirt Club and for the rest of this year. So thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And we will chat again soon.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.